Hey guys, happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing well as I want to get started on this topic. Quick intro. My name is Jessica. I am a mom of two teenage boys. I live in Minnesota with my husband and our dog and now our gecko. I kind of say the same thing every time, but that's kind of our life right now. So as you're jumping on, say hi. Love to hear from you. And I would just like to start off with a question, just to kind of get some thoughts going on and kind of maybe date myself a little bit. Did you watch I don't even know if they're still on, honestly, because that's been such a long time, but the soap operas that were such a big part of kind of the 80s, I think was 70s and 80s, maybe. I'm not even sure exactly when they started, but Days of Our Lives, Guiding Light, so many different, I can't even think of all of them. I know there was Dynasty and there was Dallas and there was like, did you watch these Days of Our Lives? Yes. I think that was my favorite. Honestly, Days of Our Lives, I think I watched it every single day. And I feel like I was able to watch it after school. And I don't remember what time it came on, but that was my favorite. But there were others that I watched too. And it was kind of like I look forward to it every single day. And so what I wanted to kind of touch on or talk about was how we can become so excited and consumed with something like a series. When we watch Netflix, like I love watching Netflix now because I don't have to watch commercials. Like commercials are annoying. So that's why Netflix is amazing and brilliant. And I'm just like, it's so fun to find a series or something we haven't watched and we don't have to watch it live. We can watch it after the fact and then we can skip the commercials for the most part. So, but yeah, we get kind of caught up in these things and they're fun and they can take us away from reality and kind of, give us some different things to think about. But is it really productive? And I think we all know, if we're consumed with something too much that's not productive, it makes our whole life not productive. So it just kind of got me thinking, because I know I was super consumed with the soap operas and there was no option for Netflix. You had to watch it when it was on and you had to plan your day around it if it was important to you, or, eventually at some point DVRs came out and you could record them and watch them later because it was like you didn't want to miss because you didn't know what was coming up next. So, anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was just a little bit about productivity and, how, just making sure that our time is well spent can equal much more productive days. And I'm not saying that you can enjoy, a Netflix series or you can't enjoy, something that is, you enjoy watching, with your spouse or significant other, in the evening after a long day or whatever. But I think, there's a fine line between obsession over certain things and actually having it take away from your productivity. So I just think that time well spent equals productivity. That's one of the things I wanted to mention. And then also, I think we all need downtime. Like, I think nobody can disagree. Yes, yeah. I mean, you could be productive in between shows. Obviously, doing laundry. I'm assuming that's Jessica. Laundry and dishes in between episodes. I mean, I'm always getting up in between and doing stuff when we're watching shows as well. It's hard to just sit. And Melanie, I think that you're probably smarter than the average person if you don't have Netflix or a DVR, because then, you know what, you're just not going to get sucked into that because it's easy to get sucked in. And it's also easy to multitask. I've got two different people that are, on different ends of the spectrum. And, like I said, there's nothing wrong with any of this. I'm just trying to share a little bit about, different ways that you could be more productive. And if you guys can hang on with me for just a little bit, I'm going to talk a little bit, but I'm not going to talk for very long. I do have something I want to give away to somebody who is interested in some tips and some different things. So I'll get to that in a minute. What I wanted to share really quick is something that I just recently read or heard in a podcast, and that was really talking about different ways to like get your brain thinking. Like, you feel like sometimes it's hard to get creativity and like, you feel like you're just, everything's so mundane. You do the same things every day and it's hard to get creative sometimes. And you think, gosh, sometimes I'm in a fog and, there's different things that you're just like, I just wish I had more clarity, or, I'd really like to start this project, but I just can't seem to get the motivation to do it. And so what I had discovered and read in this book and listened to the author on a podcast was, one of the best ways to just kind of get your brain kind of thinking again and getting kind of clearing out the cobwebs, so to speak, is literally, meditation I think is a great thing. A lot of people do like to meditate, but I struggle with meditation. Honestly, I've tried it so many times and it's not easy for me. I found other ways to just be still and quiet. When I'm doing my puzzles, like I love doing that and listening to some music or something. But honestly, one of the things that this doctor, I don't remember what her actual title was, but she's a doctor and she studies brains, and she has this course that she does. But one of the things that she tells everybody in her course to do is 16 minutes, which I'm like, that sounds like a long time, but 16 minutes of literally thinking about nothing. Like getting rid of any type of stimulation, obviously your phone, TV, your computer, getting away from any kind of notifications, anything that you can do. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on and saying hi. I appreciate that. Is to literally let yourself daydream. And, when we're watching, like soap operas and Days of Our Lives and you're daydreaming that you wish you were in the show and you were, one of the characters, that's a different type of daydreaming. I'm talking about literally letting your brain wander and like just think and process, and even if you have to stare off into like outside a window and just kind of gaze out, just kind of just being still, not allowing for distractions, and literally letting yourself daydream. Just think about things, just see what pops up for 16 minutes. I know it may seem like a long time. Set a timer, maybe set it for 5-10 minutes to start off with, but I've tried it a couple times. I'm not that consistent with it yet, but I do see the kind of how that could be impactful as far as getting your brain to use its own potential, its own power. Like your brain is so powerful and has so much potential, but when we're constantly using something to stimulate it and we're constantly using something to engage your brain, making your brain, just like not have to think, literally, when you're watching, news feeds on social media, or if you're working in front of a computer all the time, it's hard, but you're constantly in front of something's constantly like feeding your brain, and you're not letting your brain feed itself, like kind of, create its own information and its own insight. And I think, one of the things she talked about was how this is also way more effective at strengthening your brain than even like puzzles and all these brain things that they recommend you do to help prevent, Alzheimer's and all those sorts of things that can be, what causes your brain or can affect your brain. And, strengthening your brain is always a good way to, kind of fight off that stuff in addition to diet. But that's another topic I'm not going to get into. So anyway, allow yourself to daydream. I mean, it's that simple. That's the first step of her program. And I think that's brilliant. So what I wanted to give away is a book that I have started. I have not finished it, but I do have a hard copy of this book that I have I kind of been holding on to it, and this isn't the one I've been reading. I have a digital copy, so this has not been read by anybody. I've just held on to it thinking, some opportunity I'll have to maybe give it to somebody that might find it useful. So it is, and I didn't turn my camera around, so I don't know if this is going to show up. I think it's going to be backwards, but it's High Performance Habits, and it's by Brendon Burchard, and I know he's written some other books. He's a #1 New York Times bestselling author, and he has done a lot of things with productivity and high performance habits and those sorts of things. So I want to give this book away to somebody who is looking to improve their productivity, whether you're a mom or you own a business or you have a part-time job or you just like you're a college student, whatever your life is. Everybody can take away something from high performance habits that we do on a regular basis to increase our productivity, increase the way that we function and get things done. So if this is something that interests you, or if maybe you know somebody that might benefit from this, consider signing or joining my drawing. And so in order to get into the drawing for this book, the High Performance Habits book by Brendon Burchard, is to private message me. Just send me a message and say, I want it. performance habits, I'm interested. Like whatever, just let me know that you're interested, and I will put all of these names into a drawing, and then I will pick a winner probably early next week. So high performance habits, if it's something that you could benefit from, or somebody you know care about that you would love to you maybe give it away for a Christmas gift this year, because you could get it before Christmas, let me know. Private message me, say I want it, give me the book, give me some kind of note. And if this was anything that I shared here was helpful for you, please let me know. I would love to know if you took away anything from this. I just hope that you be as productive as you can with what you have to do. And honestly, if you need to turn off everything and just sit and be still for a few minutes, I highly recommend it. It's actually kind of refreshing to not have to look at anything or read anything or consume any knowledge. Just let your brain do its thing, and you will be surprised at what maybe comes in your mind that you've been thinking about something, trying to figure out something, and you just haven't been able to get to what you can't quite get an answer because you're constantly stimulated. So take away all the stimulation, allow your brain to do its job, and see what happens. And I'd love to hear if you tried it and if it was effective. But message me, please let me know if you want this book. I want to give it away to somebody that's going to use it or benefit from it. So high performance habits for free to anyone who wants to private message me. I will draw a name from everyone that does private message me that's interested in this book, and I will get that sent out to you before Christmas. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend, or tonight, Saturday, and I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Take care.